Hey there, Wondering Watchers. Welcome to this pick a card reading which reveals their true intentions. If you're unsure about someone's underlying motives or how they want things to be between you two, then this reading is exactly what you need. This pick a card approach to understanding someone else's intention is ideal if you're curious about what's going on from multiple perspectives, or if you have more than one person in mind. There are 4 tarot decks laid out here for you to choose from. You can choose one or more based on your personal preference, but also consider which deck represents the person who you're wondering about or represents how you're feeling about the situation. Trust that your intuition will lead you to the messages that you need to hear for your best and highest good. Keep in mind that the cards provide perspective, but it's your choices and actions that determine your ultimate truth. You have agency over your life and control how to live it. So here, for group number 1, we have 78 Tarot Animal. This is a newly released animal-themed deck funded through Kickstarter. Group number 2, we have the Modern Witch Tarot deck. It's a modern take on the classic Rider-Waite-Smith images. Group 3, we have Cosmobeings Tarot deck. This is also an indie tarot deck. It depicts otherworldly beings celebrating darkness and shadow and not just the light. In group number 4, we have Mystical Medleys. This is a vintage cartoon tarot deck. So for those that are interested in animation from the 1930s. Now, take a moment to pause the video if you need time to tune into the cards that call out to you. I'll put a link to each reading in the description box below so that you can jump ahead to the readings of your choice. Also, if you're interested in seeing unboxing or flip through videos of the decks that are used in this reading, they can be found there as well. Now it's time to tune in on the cards, choose your tarot adventure, and let's make magic happen. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 1, those who picked 78 Tarot Animal, Tarot of the Wild. So before we get into their intentions when it comes to you, we're going to explore how they see themselves. So here, they see themselves as someone who is creative, who is artistic, someone who is not only intelligent, but able to kind of see connections between things on like a micro level and a macro level. So here, what they want in their life is abundance. They want material wealth. They want to be like successful, have their like comforts that they want in terms of their material needs. And they also, possibly want to kind of have their own business or be recognized for what it is that they create. And here they are very determined to succeed. They're very much eager to kind of rise above, have like notoriety in their life. So here, transcendence. So they believe that they are kind of above a certain point in their life, where they're not really looking at there's certain things they see as like not really worthy of their time or their attention if it's not really kind of related to these aspects of them succeeding and creating something and being successful in having that material wealth. You have divine feminine. So they have a sensitive side to them where they are able to kind of tap into that creativity. It also gives them that sense of, to some degree, not really missing out on someone else or something else to kind of fulfill them. In spirit. So they really believe that they are capable of doing multiple things. Possibly even they are have some type of spiritual beliefs. They may have kind of practices where they kind of tap into their creativity that really kind of help them on this way towards their success. So they're pretty much focused on how they can tap into their internal, knowledge, creativity, to get the abundance that they want in their life. So when it comes to you, let's take a look. You have justice. So they consider you to be someone who is pretty balanced and fair, someone who is reasonable and doesn't really get emotionally involved in things, and kind of understands the way that the world works. They do kind of think that you are at times naive or the word I'm thinking of is not playful. Well, yes, playful to a degree, but they see it more as like a naive playfulness. Like you are trying to be something that you once were. Maybe a sense of not being fully at your potential. And there is the Seven of Swords. So they feel that there is something that you are not revealing about yourself or you don't know about yourself. And to some degree, it is something that they are curious about, but something that they're also hesitant to explore. So here, they feel that you are someone that is working on yourself, that you are trying to kind of create a future. You might just now be kind of tuning into what that is and what fills you up and kind of takes your attention and, something that pushes you forward. And they feel that, you are someone that is worthy of kind of receiving their attention. They feel that you are romantic and you can be romantic. There is a concern that whatever is kind of you're not revealing, or this kind of sense of being naive and trying to kind of be playful in a way that you once were, but not really growing into your true self, that it's something that they need to kind of be aware of, and kind of there is that need to protect themselves in that way. Page of Wands. So they also feel that you are kind of on that same page of kind of being naive, still trying to figure out who you are, the direction that you want to go in life. They do think that you are, flirtatious, and that you do draw attention to yourself. They're still just not sure of how they feel about that, though. So here you have Ace of Wands. So they do intend to at least kind of see where things go with you. They want to have you in their life to kind of help them tap into this creativity, to help them kind of tap into their spirituality, so that they can focus on what they want to do. Knight of Wands. So there is this kind of like sexual desire and passion that they kind of are feeling for you. So they are kind of getting a sense that they can really, it's like this combination of the Knight of Cups. They feel like if you are going to kind of cause problems, then they can kind of get in there and get out. And then you have the Five of Pentacles. So there is that idea that if you're not helping them reach their potential, and you are kind of focusing on what you haven't yet accomplished, then they are going to kind of they're going to look a different direction. They're going to see things, find a different way. They're going to kind of move on, and it will be a sense of loss to them, but it's something that they will feel that is, for their best and highest good to move on. So let's see what they're going to do next. You have the Four of Wands. So here they are going to make sure they're feeling, happy, comfortable, and confident. And they will let you know if, they will, show you a signal. They will dance wildly in front of you. They will show you a certain attention when they feel that they are comfortable enough with you, and that they want to kind of celebrate whatever kind of connection you two have. So let's see what this means. You have the Four of Cups. So there is the potential that you are kind of so focused on this individual, and that you are going to draw that focus from that individual as well, where they're not going to be in that place that they want to go. It's going to throw them off their game, their plan. And so it might be because they are so drawn to you, or because they're trying to figure out what the mystery is, or they're trying to help you to actually to kind of develop your personal self. But it does seem with how they are really kind of focused and determined, it may be that there is that concern, there will ultimately be a concern that you are kind of detracting from their vision for themselves. So let's take a look at some advice from the universe here on what you can do and what you can control. You have breakthrough to new dimensions. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth into your consciousness. So here, if there is a new opportunity, a new, way for you to tap into what it is you want for your personal growth, for your, connection with the universe or spirit, what it is that you have for your own personal goals, that's something to really invest in, so that you are on your own path, and regardless of whatever they're doing, there is this understanding that at least they are not needing to kind of take away from their own path to help you find yours. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective for you, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 2, those who picked the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So before we get into their intentions, we're going to explore how they see themselves. That will provide a better understanding of how their intentions for you kind of play into their lives. So they see themselves as someone who is going after what it is that they want, that they are the ones moving through life, and it's not that life is kind of happening around them and trying to figure it out. You have ideation. So they consider themselves to be someone who is, intelligent, can, really understand what's going on around them, is someone who will, if there is a problem, will not really hesitate to kind of pursue the different options to solve it. Or if there is some type of agreement that needs to be made and there is no consensus, they're the type of person who is like, well, I say we do this, and just start doing it, because they are, once they have that idea, if there's really no resistance, that's the way that they are going to go. You have faith. So they feel that they are connected to a greater plan that is pretty much, they might be religious, they might be spiritual, they might practice a certain faith, but it's almost a faith in themselves that they are going to be able to, make things happen what they want to happen. And that really, they might have that sense that they're protected by spirit or the universe, but it's more their belief in themselves and their abilities. Determination. So they believe they have this kind of this fire inside of them that is really, behind this movement, this understanding or belief that what they are going to do is the right thing to do. Justice. They really do feel that things will work out for them the way that they need to, because of this ability or tendency to kind of, once they have that idea that they want, to move into action. So of course for them, the result is the result they're intending or expecting, because that's the way it should be. And you have divine feminine. So to some degree, they feel that there has been like an influence in their life, a parent figure, a mentor, someone who has really shown them that they can kind of embrace all aspects of themselves and to appreciate beauty in others. Once they kind of see it, they're going to know what they want when they see it, and when they feel it, and they're not going to be afraid to kind of go after what they want. So when it comes to you, let's take a look. They consider you to be someone who is really kind of happy, outgoing, social, possibly, possibly someone who is like involved in the arts or like event planning. Someone who is, like the face that you see in, customer service, like any forward facing kind of thing, like anywhere from a bank teller to a receptionist, a hostess, the initial face that you see where you want to kind of be greeted with a smile. They see you as that type of person. Strength. So they do think that you are kind of courageous, that you are, gentle, that you are stand up for yourself, that you are really in a good place in life. It also is that, they see you as someone who is not weak, someone who can really handle yourself. 9 of Wands. So they see you also as someone who is a go-getter. they see that you know, work hard, and it may be that you kind of just need to, what's the word? That you need to kind of be aware a little bit more about what's going on around you, but they're not worried about it because they do see you as someone who is, strong and can kind of handle themselves. So here, so they feel at times that they don't really connect with you, and that you might even not want to kind of connect with anybody, like that you are a little bit not withdrawn in a way that's like melancholy or apathetic, but withdrawn in a way where you are kind of not like focused on something and not really aware, kind of like in line with this Nine of Wands, where your focus is on something and you're really not kind of aware of, and you might not want to be aware, but there is that sense that they can't really connect with you. So they do see that you are kind of closed off a little bit. This sense of being happy, this sense of strength, and being like motivated and like hardworking, they see or they feel like that you are kind of blocking yourself, blocking your heart to some degree, that you are focused on, making sure that you're secure, that you are taking care of yourself, that you are kind of building this sense of independence. But in a way, it's kind of another thing that makes it so you are harder to get to and like detached from them or from their world. You have Judgment. So they kind of aren't really sure when it comes to you whether or not you are someone that they are interested in to go after. And that has to do with you and your journey. So if you were someone that was exuding this, divine feminine energy, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to look a certain way or dress a certain way or talk a certain way or, it's more aspects of yourself that you embrace. It is a sense that there is a feeling that you need to kind of figure out some things about yourself, the things that make you kind of feel like you're protected and you're secure, things that you need to kind of learn for yourself. You have the Five of Cups. So in terms of their intentions when it comes to you, they kind of intend to give you some time to figure things out. They intend to, let you be withdrawn, let you to kind of focus on something. They're not going to push you. They're not going to tell you what to do. These feelings of, for themselves, they're not going to push those onto you. But that's also an indication of how different from you they feel that you are, or at least right now in the place that you are, that you're not ready to kind of get that type of encouragement, that it's something that you need to kind of figure out for yourself. Ace of Pentacles. So they really are wanting you to kind of turn around and like heal from whatever you need to heal from, learn whatever you need to learn, accept whatever you need to accept, but take an opportunity to kind of value yourself and your abilities, and see yourself in a different way. And they don't really intend to, again, push you towards that. They want you to figure all this out on your own. Then you have Nine of Pentacles. So really, the way that they see things, they are kind of intending for you to kind of, or wanting you to kind of go through a self-reflection and evolution. And you are someone that has this smiling face up here. You got like three nines here. You are someone who is hardworking and willing to kind of go that extra mile. But they kind of want you, or hope that you're someone that also recognizes that you don't need to kind of, hide away. You can feel good about who you are, proud of who you are, and kind of want to be seen a little bit more and not so guarded. And then once you're at this place, kind of decide what it is that you want for yourself, and whether that, maybe at that time is going to be the right time for you to kind of connect, and maybe not. So let's kind of see what's around the corner here. You have the Devil. So basically it seems that they are going to kind of just let things lie. They are going to let you deal with your own things. And in the meantime, they're going to see about, figuring out what they might need to learn in the process as well. Page of Pentacles. So here, ultimately, this is going to be like a learning experience for both of you to kind of see yourselves in a new way, to appreciate yourselves, and to kind of have a new understanding of how you fit into your environment. And then, whatever questions that you have, whatever connections that you're trying to make, to possibly revisit it at that time. So here, let's take a card, get some advice for you from the universe. You have persistent drive. See what you desire and move toward that goal. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. So here, driving towards whatever goals that you have, that is the takeaway here. So I'm hoping it provides a helpful perspective for you, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 3, those that pick Cosmobeings tarot deck. But first, we are going to explore how they see themselves, so we have a better understanding of how they would kind of follow through on their intentions. So we have frustration. So they are someone who is somewhat perfectionistic, that they kind of get caught up on an idea. They will also kind of try to make things work that probably don't work, or they will probably avoid something that would work if they are like really fixated on a certain way of things kind of turning out. Intuition. So they kind of see themselves as someone who wants to believe that they know best, like that they have the ability to kind of know what the outcome is going to be. And that's why they keep pursuing things in a way that doesn't work, because they kind of have this feeling that it's supposed to be this way, but they don't really kind of pick up on the environmental cues or the facts of the situation. They're more kind of going with this feeling that they have and this kind of desire for a certain outcome. You have comfort. So what they really kind of need right now in their life is something or someone to kind of help them kind of be okay with things not going their way, things not turning out the way that they thought they would, and okay if things just don't work out, because they are the true sense of who they are and what they want isn't going to really show up until they feel comfortable with themselves and comfortable with their environment and comfortable with not things not being exactly what they thought or expected or hoped. There's protection here. So they believe that they have protection, which is why they pursue this things that are really not going to work out. They don't really see there being a consequence. Well, I guess this one as well. There is love. So here they do have love. They do want love. They are seeking that in their lives. And it may cause them to kind of keep doing things that kind of they are struggling against because of a certain idea of love that they want. And balance. So ultimately, this concept of comfort is what they need, because they really do need balance in their life. They need to be able to kind of see both sides of a situation. Right now, there is a sense of kind of what it is that they want. There's not a lot of looking for being there for someone else, meeting them halfway. In this balance, it might be if they're in this comfort position, but it's more a focus of they need to be at this point. and they feel that what it is that they want is kind of the right thing, and they're going to they're not going to feel that balance. They're not going to be even really open to seeing someone else's point of view, or not their point of view, but like being there and being supportive of someone else, until they can understand that the way that they see things isn't, or hope they see things, isn't necessarily how other people see things. So, okay, group number 3, let's see when it comes to you. What's going on with them? You have 7 of Cups. So they consider you as someone who really has different options. They might see that as kind of you not making a decision. But it's also because they don't see you necessarily struggling against yourself. You might take some time to kind of figure out what you want. They might see that as like you kind of, not knowing that, or seeing you not knowing as kind of not really sure of yourself or what you want. But again, this is from the perspective of they are kind of, they believe that they do know what they want, and the frustration for them is not getting that outcome. So with they kind of think that you not being in that spot, not struggling against stuff to get what you want, means that you don't know what you want. And that might be the case, but they're looking at it from a slightly different perspective. You have the Star. So they consider you to be someone who is, hopeful, possibly have some wishful thinking. Someone who is also a sense of balance, but for yourself. But there is also that kind of idea that you don't know what you want, that you don't have that clarity quite yet that they think that they have. Here. 3 of Pentacles. So that they think that you are helpful. They think that you, if working with other people, can kind of figure out what you want to do or kind of show your talents. But it seems that they think you really are kind of still discovering those, and there is like you're still in the process of, kind of seeing where you fit in life. So group number 3, you have the 2 of Swords here. So they feel that you are like at a crossroads, that you don't know exactly where you want to go with your life or what you want to do. It doesn't mean that they do, they think they do, but they kind of see you at, not really, they're not really sure of yourself. They're more sure of themselves, but they're not necessarily comfortable in their own skin. So let's take a look at what else they have here for you. Group number 3, 4 of Pentacles. So they feel that you are kind of trying to kind of get this like a foundation of where you are in life, that you might still be kind of needing help from other people and not in a place to kind of give more than you have or can afford to give, not necessarily in terms of like material resources, but time and attention. And they're not looking to be there for someone to help them figure things out, to get more confident, to be to improve their position. They're looking for someone who can help them. So it's like they feel they would have to kind of invest in you, probably more than they would like to. And you have 10 of Cups. So they feel that you actually would make a good match, that you guys could really support each other. But in terms of kind of achieving whatever idea of happiness that you each have, it might not necessarily even be a shared idea of happiness here. But in terms of comfort, there is this, they feel that they could be like comfortable with you. In terms of whether or not it would fulfill like a passionate love, or help them to achieve what they believe they want to achieve, that's something they're not yet sure of, because you're still not, they feel that you're not sure of who you are, where you're going. Okay, group number 3, they have the Sun. So in terms of what they want when it comes to you, they want you to be happy. They want to be happy, whatever version of that is for each of you. So they do kind of intend to kind of be in your life. There's no reason for them not to, if they don't have to invest in helping you figure things out and, establishing yourself. Okay, you have the Knight of Wands. So they do intend to kind of, if there's the opportunity to kind of pop in there, and then pop out without necessarily needing to kind of invest too much into you or your connection, your relationship together, then they're willing to do that. But they also are going to follow whatever they want to do. And if that is, if the opportunity is not with you, then they are going to pursue whatever it is that they are drawn to. What it might be for their best and highest good, it might not be, but it's going to be whatever they are expecting, whatever is driving them. That is not necessarily going to change when it comes to you. And you have the Queen of Cups here. So to some degree, they do kind of see you as someone who is loving, someone who is caring, and who can provide them that comfort that they are looking for, and possibly nurturing them and helping them to pursue what they want to pursue, whether it's going to be a connection that is lasting, or something that they're going to want to invest in themselves. That's, yet to be seen. So let's take a look what's around the corner here. You have the Ace of Cups. So it is a sense of there will be some type of connection, some type of opportunity for you to come together, be happy, be in this kind of sun moment, whatever that means for each of you, and to kind of build off that. So there will be that opportunity to do that. Then you have the Death card. So here it's a sense of there's going to be a need for something to change, though. It won't be in this, opportunity place forever. There is going to be different emotions felt in terms of this transformation. It may be that this kind of connection helps this person to really feel the love and to get that sense of balance in their life so that they change and are not really in this kind of stuck in a certain idea where they will be more in the flow, like the water flowing from this cup. However, it could be to some degree that, this is a change where it doesn't have an impact on how, or doesn't reveal what would happen here, because in this change, there's things that are going to die off. They're going to be let go of. It might be you, it might be them. It might be your relationship, it might not be. But that is something that is still to be determined. So let's take a look at some advice from the universe. You have look beyond the surface. Avoid becoming distracted by surface issues. Focus on the underlying motivation, cause, or beauty in a situation. Seek ways to bring depth to your world. So here, this is, telling you to kind of look at the underlying motivations here. And if it's not, if you have to compromise your own beliefs to kind of fit in to the motivations that are kind of revealed here, then, seek a way to bring more depth into your world that might be different types of motivations with a different person. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 4, those who pick mystical medleys. But before we find out their intentions about you, we're going to learn a little bit about them so we have a better understanding of how they might follow through or not follow through on certain intentions when it does come to you. You have Ghost. So they see themselves as someone who is kind of not really in the center of attention, of anybody's attention. To some degree, it is a sense of they are kind of navigating through their environment, trying to figure themselves out, try to figure things out. They don't mind not being seen. They might prefer not being seen. And that might have to do with how, something in the past may have affected them. What they are really looking for in their lives is just to be happy. That could be in a relationship, that could be, with like relationships with friends, romantic relationships, but they're trying to find happiness within themselves. And there's really a need for them to kind of get unstuck, to be in a, not just wandering around, but actually have some intention to get out of this. It's not necessarily a situation or a mindset. It's like a veil that they have over them. And it's they kind of need to get past that. And the way they kind of get past that is, honestly, if they even just went out for a run, it might kind of give them a burst of energy or an adrenaline rush, something that really to kind of get them into a more active role in their life. So here, they believe that they have courage. They believe that they are willing to face life, but only when it comes to certain situations. Only when they won't necessarily be seen, where their flaws won't be highlighted, they won't be expected to do whatever it is that they're doing and having courage for at that time. Desire. So they do have desires. They do have this desire for happiness. They do have, human desire and passions, but it seems that this kind of veil that's kind of over them, and not wanting to be seen is kind of keeping that within. It's as if they're holding that close to them. And these two wanted to come out. So gratitude and focus. It's something that really they need to be more aware of their surroundings. They need to be kind of grateful for what they have and what they've accomplished, and getting out of this kind of veil that they're under is going to take focus and determination. And they're going to need to recognize that kind of is the case, and that they're kind of caught in their own net, sort of say. But really, some type of movement, not necessarily just kind of like mental thought, just thinking the way, but actually some kind of physical movement is kind of what they need. So now, group number 4, let's kind of see when it comes to you what's going on with them. So they consider you to be someone who is kind of a protector, a provider, someone who is successful, someone who is able to kind of rise above and not only fear being a center of attention, but also kind of desire it or have earned it. And they feel like that you are caring and you want to have, the nice things around you. You want to kind of share that even with the people you care about. And they consider you someone who is really going to have a great future, someone who cares about how you're seen, cares about your reputation, cares how people see you, and cares about how you kind of cares and intentional about what it is that you surround yourself with and pursue in life. And kind of more sure of yourself, or at least more comfortable in your environment than they are. And they think that you are intelligent. They see you as someone who is reasonable, is honest, kind of communicates your beliefs and isn't really going to compromise your beliefs to make someone else feel good. And this idea of really you protect the things that you care about. So group number 4, in terms of their feelings, they feel like withdrawn when it comes to you. They're not really ready for that. They're still in that veil. And it may be, if there has to be an action, they're really not even on the playing field to some degree. So in terms of kind of their relationship with you, how they interact with you, they definitely think that they can help you to some degree. And since you know exactly kind of what you want and you've got this feature and you've got kind of a clear understanding of your goals and your truth, they definitely are willing to kind of help you to do that. And they feel that you would help them in return as well. And that, you'd make a good team. They also feel that when it comes to you, there is a sense that you would require too much from them, that they are not really they can barely kind of get a clear idea of where they want to go and get themselves motivated for it. It's almost a sense of they are going to need you to tell them how to operate, how to kind of navigate, how much is enough, how much is too much. So it's as if they feel like they would really need to kind of, once they're ready, and if it's right now, they're kind of going to need you to tell them how you want them to be, because they're willing to, but again, it's whether or not you, if you are truly the way they see you, then it's whether or not you not only want to take on this task, but whether or not you truly feel like you want to be someone that tells someone how to be. If you're someone that is kind of likes to be in control, maybe. So, all right, group number 4, let's see what else. So they plan on really, making an effort when it comes to you. They see you as someone who they should, that they are kind of grateful that you're in their life and or would be more in their life. So they are going to make that effort. Let's kind of see what else. So they do want to connect with you on an emotional level. They do want to kind of share their, their feelings about life. They want to kind of connect emotionally. It may be to some degree that the intention is more of a nurturing thing, where they are looking more for someone to kind of tell them again how to feel, how to kind of how to be, to give them that happiness that they're trying to look for in themselves, and to give them a sense of guidance and direction. They also kind of want a certain outcome that will motivate them, that will get them out of that veil. You can see you have this ghost here again, and they're just not sure what that is. So they want to be more involved in your life. They see you as someone that's worthy. They see you as someone who has like the determination, the power, and the compassion to help them. But in terms of even where to start, that's something that they are kind of unsure of. They're still in that kind of veil, their head still in a cloud, sort of say. So here, they're going to be kind of planning still. They're still going to be kind of wondering, wondering what it would be like to be more engaged and take off, and see here, like, take off that veil and actually be seen and actually, make movements. So they're still kind of thinking about it. And you have the 3 of Swords here. So really there is some kind of underlying disappointment, guilt, shame, heartache, something that they really need to deal with to kind of get through that veil, where they even can pursue what they would like to do, to figure out what it is that they would like to do, or how to even motivate themselves to do it. So this is something that they're going to have to work on. So let's close out the reading here with an oracle card to give you some advice from the universe. You have here, in the light of the moon, a full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. So here, this is advice for you to kind of recognize what is in your own shadows, to recognize parts of yourself that if they mirror in any way this kind of veil that they have for themselves, to kind of take a look at that. And if you also have some kind of, in your past, something that you need to heal, and you've kind of been resisting that, then, during this time where there's just not a lot of movement on their part, then shine a light on that and kind of see where that goes. So this is what I have. I'm hoping it provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care.